remains a 40-pound vest. I can only imagine if it was 100 pounds, but it makes me want to do some movements and training. This is remains a 40-pound vest. I can only imagine if it was 100 pounds, but it makes me want to do some movements and training.
Have a media member, a journalist, that has not spoken to him, that has not, tested the gauge of the temperature of what's going on with him, doesn't understand what changes he made, what's his mindset like, and they're already claiming that they know what's wrong with him. That's the reason why he's picking and choosing what media he talks to. For Lance Pugmire, who has a medical background, and says that without talking to Deontay Wilder, without understanding what's going on with Deontay Wilder, without gauging the temperature, like I said, of the changes, activities, and why he's picking and choosing which media he talks to, Lance Pugmire is claiming to diagnose him with deep depression. This is the reason why boxers pick and choose who they want to talk to and who they don't want to talk to. Because now this is going to be taken as truth. This is going to be overstated, and you're going to see this run on so many different platforms because Lance Pugmire has a voice within the sport of boxing. So if he says this, it's going to grow legs, it's going to pick up steam, and it's going to start to be a thing within the sport of boxing. And before...
Those are the words of Blue Blood Sports TV in reference to Lance Pugmire, which has a medical background, okay? He has, I guess, ranged his beliefs and diagnosed Deontay Wilder with deep depression based on his silence. Okay, he hasn't said anything. And and according to Blue Blood Sports TV, Lance Pugmire's influence, because of his background, because he is in the medical field and he is a journalist, people will take it for truth. People will start believing what he says because he does have a following. He does have a voice. And what I say to Blue Blood Sports TV is, that's absolutely true. And I know that's a worry of the LDBC, wanting people from other platforms to believe that. That's true. People will take that as truth. Okay? People will look at that and hear that statement of Lance Pugmire and think, hey, you know what? That's true. Deontay Wilder, he could be going through a depression state because he's quiet. He's too damn quiet. As you just heard, Blue Blood Sports TV said, well, Deontay's picking and choosing which platform he wants to use. Or he's selective of which journalists he wants to use to make statements. Well, he hasn't used any, according to Blue Blood Sports TV. He's cool with Blue Blood. Boxing Ego, they haven't had any conversations with him or interviews with him. So the problem, I think, they're worried because this guy with a medical background is saying that, not because it's true, it's because people think it's true. But everything is lining up to what that doctor's talking about. What Pugmire's talking about is, based on his quietness, you could just look back and range that as deep depression because he ain't saying shit. Now, I get what Blue Blood's saying. Like, how can you talk about a person that you haven't diagnosed that hasn't sat down with you? But I think what Lance Pugmire is doing, he's looking at other people in other situations that has lost in that type of manner and didn't want to talk to anyone, and then they ended up having deep depression due to their quietness. That's why, me counterpunching all this, okay? Deontay Wilder should come forth, make a statement, and prove everybody wrong. Okay? See, that's selective of who he talks to. He hasn't said anything, and the only thing we've heard him say is certain statements to certain people about Tyson Fury. He will be fighting Tyson Fury whenever. At this point, we don't know. But what we do know is he's too quiet. So for someone like Lance Pugmire to make a diagnosis like that or make an assumption based on whatever his expertise is, I say that's a lot better than someone saying that he had his damn broken dent in his head and that doctor has no fucking name. You see where I'm going with that? You guys are now there's people with names that has credentials that is saying that, hey, Deontay Wilder suffering from deep depression. You're saying, no, that's not true, and here's why. Because he ain't talked to nobody, so how you going to diagnose him and you ain't talked to him? Okay, fine. Where the fuck is the doctor that said he had a dent in his head and that could have been done by a blunt object after the fight? That you guys claim that a doctor, this same channel, a doctor states that that Deontay sustained injuries that couldn't be done with a fist. Okay? It had to be some type of object that hit Deontay, and he has a dent in his skull. You guys remember that? Now, what the name is that fucking doctor, I wonder? But you want us to believe that, but you don't want us to believe Lance Pugmire. Why? Lance Pugmire is a guy with a credential. At least we know his name. We can look him up. We can look up the photographer too. I've looked him up. You can't find him that said, oh, those gloves were this way. You can't find the motherfucker. So, what? I mean, so this is a guy that's coming up. He might be biased. Lance Pugmire might be biased. But he has credentials. And I think what it is, I don't even think he meant it to be that way. He might be suffering from a deep depression because by now we should have heard something. And based on what I have diagnosed and witnessed before, people have been in deep depression that does not come forth or is doing the same thing Deontay Wilder is doing now, which is being very, very quiet. Okay? That's the gist of it. And they don't want you to believe that, but they want you to believe a doctor that don't exist that diagnosed Deontay Wilder with some type of injury that he couldn't have made by fist, insinuating that Tyson Fury was cheating. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to a doctor that has a name, that has credentials, oh, no. You guys don't believe that because they're going to think it's true. You got to talk to them first. Wonderful. Great. I believe you, Blue Blood. If that's the case, then we have to talk to the doctor that has the fucking skull dent in Deontay's head. Give us the skull. Give us the x-rays. Give us a name. Give us the name of the doctor. Give us the place he went to. Give us something. Oh, but that's right. You ain't even interviewed him. So how in the fuck did you get this information? His brother said so? Okay, ask his brother to ask Deontay Wilder to get the shit that we asked for. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.